Okay, welcome to another episode of the Mind Investors Podcast. You got Justin from You Are Creators and my co-host, Al the Juice Man Jeweler. What's going on, brother?
What's up, buddy?
Where are you at right now?
I'm in Miami, Florida.
Miami, Florida.
Aventura area, Sunny Isles.
You like it out there?
Yeah, beautiful. Very beautiful, very nice.
You just
I've been here before this whole coronavirus started. Maybe a month after your trip, after the trip to your house, I got here.
So look, so you just became a partner in a falafel restaurant. Can you touch on that real fast?
You got very interesting subjects to talk about. Falafel restaurant. Well, actually, you know what? This is a good topic to talk about. Also,
It is.
And it's very funny how things work. How the universe works, and how everything just aligns. So good. But my cousin says, "Hey Al, go check out this place. To see this falafel joint that was a reference to a reference, supposedly, for sale by the owner." So, I found a way to get close to the owner, and we had a conversation. And it happens that this guy used to own 5 pawn shops here in Florida, and he sold them to a friend of mine in the year 2000, one by one. So, he's about 70 years old. He was telling me stories of his life, of his business entrepreneurship,
Got you.
And it's very funny how, things roll. But
well, listen, brother. Congratulations on your new deal, man. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So let's talk about what's going on in the world and how we can somehow add our expertise to bring peace of mind to people, to help people, and to make sure that they're thinking the right things, but also taking the right actions.
Right.
So,
give me one moment. Let me tell this guy to stop chopping. The chef is chopping stuff. Mamãe. One moment. One moment. Very noisy, The chef is chopping cabbages. All right. Let's continue on.
So, what is your advice for people during this time? I mean, so many people are panicking. So many people are, taking drastic measures right now. But what is your advice? What do you think people should be doing right now? And how should people be preparing for what is and what is to come?
Right. So, first of all, I think everyone at this moment is in need of a psychologist or some type of moral support, who, from someone who has these social skills to help one another. I think at these tough moments, we should have, talented people out there who are certified and who are talented, maybe not certified, to reach out to their family and friends and people that they know to offer uh, help, moral help, mental help, and offer, these things to keep people's mind, in check, because people are really losing their mind. People are really bored. They're losing their mind, and they don't know what to do with themselves. So I think the mental health of American citizens is pretty much on the line. It's on the edge.
You know,
And
I just released a video on UR Creators. It's entitled "How to Boost the Immune System."
right,
No.
I heard it. I listened to it.
The secrets of boosting your immune system. Okay.
Right,
And I basically break down how your thoughts and your attitude and your feelings literally affects your immune system. Being negative, being in a fearful, panic vibration
right.
literally tears down your immune system. So you're right. Your mental health is vital. It's important during these times. But I wonder, like, what are some ways for people to maintain a positive high vibration?
Well, I think at this point there's multiple things that people could do, but again, a lot of people are, they're aware of what's going on, but they're unaware how to help themselves. Some people I know, uh, totally isolated themselves from the world completely. They're so paranoid and they're so, uncertain of what could happen to them. They just isolated and locked themselves in a home, in an apartment, in whatever it is. And I think within some time, it doesn't matter how big your house is, you start to feel claustrophobia, like the walls are closing down on you because the feeling of being outside and feeling the freedom of not being able to touch the sky is a certain vibration that has an effect on the human body. It's total freedom. When you go outside, you feel free because there's nothing. You can't jump. You can't see the roof. There's no ceiling. So therefore, feeling the walls and feeling the ceiling with all this isolation, how people are isolating themselves, is becoming very totally unhealthy. There's a lot of things that are happening to people that is very unhealthy, and it has a very, you know, hard effect on people's minds, on their body, on the way their body, cells are reacting to this, and I don't know. I just think that people have to, start being more aware of what's going on and kind of work on themselves as far as, I don't know, maybe play some cheerful music or read something, that's that will make them happy, or stay in touch or speak on the phone with people who, can raise their vibration and do things they can, be a positive to their mental and physical health.
Got you. Got you. So here's my advice to people. If you take care of your immune system, it will take care of you. So I want you guys to start studying how to boost your immune system naturally. And there's so many ways on how to do it. But basically, certain natural herbs like ginger root, or, just red algae. Red algae will destroy any type of bacteria, virus, anything. Start studying red algae. You can buy it on Amazon. What I've learned is not knowing something. Being ignorant brings fear. But the more you know, the less you fear. So start studying certain natural ways to boost your immune system. Red algae, sea moss, sunlight. vitamin D3, vitamin C, SCAT. These are all natural things that can boost and keep your immune system strong. There's nothing to fear. But if you start fearing something, start being scary with panic energy, you're going to get sick because you lessen your immune system with fear energy. And that's the way it goes.
Right. So question for you, so you could, basically, so we're here to help the audience, and I want to ask as many questions as possible, and also you ask me as many questions as possible, and together, to help the audience through these tough times. And eating the whole pack of vitamins and all this stuff and algae, this is all great stuff. It makes the body strong. It makes the immune system strong. But being physically strong, still missing the biggest factor, which is mentally strong, because
You gotta have
people
both.
have to keep themselves, busy, occupied doing something. You have
Right.
people that are poor, you have people that are wealthy, rich, people with money, they have routines, they want to go outside shopping, they want to drive around, they want to, date somebody, they want to, do all these things that they always do, and in a situation where, you know, we're required total isolation from everybody. This is not an easy thing to deal with.
No, but
Absolutely
it's
not.
necessary. Listen.
How do you deal with the situation? I mean,
I
I
think
want to
that it's
figure out
good
a way how to,
alone.
huh?
I think that it's good for people to be alone sometimes. But you don't always need to be around other people.
For how long?
But just to keep your mind, preoccupied, you can read a book. You can
Right.
start jotting down certain ideas you want to work on. See, thing is, it's like I find too many people saying they're bored. You can be using this time to build something for the future. You can use this time constructively to build for the future. That's my advice. Like, yes, relax, but more than anything, kind of tame the mind, but also reach for some good ideas as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there's an old saying that the devil's playground, the devil, right? The devil's playground is an idle mind. Somebody that isn't really thinking about anything, no plans, no goals in mind, nothing. Sometimes weeds can sprout up if you don't preoccupy your mind. You got to keep the mind busy because the mind can only think of one thing at a time. But I told people before, on planet Earth, your mind is a soil playground.
Right.
But weeds sprout up automatically. Weeds are doubts, fears, negative thoughts. They sprout up if you're not thinking about what you want. You have to tame the mind. So mind and body, that's important. Mind and body.
So how do you tame the mind? That's a very big question. That's a very big
So basically,
concern here.
This sounds super cliche, but meditation can really help you control your mind. You are the captain of your ship. You have to consciously control what you are thinking and radiating out.
Right.
Listen.
So I have people currently calling me, telling me they have anxiety, they have,
Stop watching the news.
Attack.
Stop watching the news. Listen, everybody listening to us right now, stop watching the news. The news is designed to keep you fearful. They understand that once you are in a scared, panic state, you now rely on someone else or another source. That source could be them.
Right.
Fear stops you from doing the things that you came down here to do. Fear stops you from, taking action. Jumping on those new ideas. Fear stops you. Fear is the only enemy of man. If you keep watching the news and keep watching, today 300 people died. This is all adding fear, which is lowering your vibration, which is tearing down your aura field.
It takes your mind off the focus.
It takes your mind off of things that you came down here for. You didn't come down here to worry about no virus. You came down here to accomplish a certain mission, but you can't accomplish that mission if you are in a fearful state. That's what I'm saying.
What financial advice can we give our audience at this time and in the situation that the country is in right now and everything that's happening? Because a lot of people, are concerned of what's next.
Al, the last time we talked, you had a brilliant idea. And you made a lot of sense. You said that you feel that in the future, the dollar may not be as valuable. But what is valuable will be precious metals.
Right.
Used for bartering or trading. I honestly believe, I don't know when, but I believe that we should start investing in precious metals. Because gold really never really loses its value. You can trade it. You can barter it. But you can use it as a form of payment as well. What do you think?
So I feel that if this situation, in the situation that we're in right now, if this continues on for another month, for more, for a longer period of time, and I think the longer this continues, we're going to reach a peak of new circumstances. And these new circumstances are going to be where the dollar is going to get, declined by everyone. And we could no longer purchase commodities and food and everything that we need to survive for the US dollar, because the way it's looking, it's a high chance, a possibility that the dollar will collapse. It's called, inflation, default, and I lived through times like this in Russia. We lived through a default time where you go and you bring, a big duffel bag of money, and you can't even buy, a loaf of bread for this.
What solution?
So what happens in the situation is that you will have to either trade commodities, for example, coffee, a box of coffee for, a bag of potatoes, a bag of potatoes for a bag of beans, or whatever it is, back and forth. People are going to start trading commodities with their neighbors, with their, social network of who has what, what food resources they can trade with each other. But not only that, it's going to lead to where people will have to exchange, the physical gold and silver and platinum in exchange for food. Just like back in the day, they used gold coins to buy food. They used a smaller coin, a bigger coin, a silver coin. It was a silver gold, trade coin. And the merchants, that's how they traded silver and gold for commodities for food, for coffee, for beans, for absolutely everything. This was in Turkey, this was in Israel, this was in England, everywhere. Just we became a modern society where paper currency became a very common thing and easier to use. But not only that, the government wanted to have these reserves themselves to exchange currency, to take basically gold and silver currency from the public and hold it themselves in an exchange for paper currency that they print.
Gotcha.
So I think we're going to reach times, we are going to reach times very soon where this exchange will start happening, and we'll start seeing the trade of resources of commodities, food commodities, in exchange for food commodities, and also the trade for gold and silver and other precious metals to purchase, absolutely anything, even a car.
Gotcha.
So I would advise people to have some type of reserve aside from the paper bills. That way, if this occurs, they don't, end up being victims of starvation and having no purchase power of food.
Gotcha. That makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, these are definitely interesting times. But I mean, like we said before, it's important for you to maintain a certain headspace, because being frightful, being scared, just lowers your vibration. Now, being prepared, feeling like you have more than enough or always have more than enough, is a wonderful vibration to have. You may have that after you have purchased some things like solar energy. I highly recommend people start researching saltwater generators.
Right.
We have generators out that will generate 100 watts of electricity for 60 hours straight, and it runs on salt water.
Salt water.
You can take water from your faucet and then add salt to it, table salt, stir it up. This device will give your family 100 watts of free energy.
Wow.
You can find it online. Just Google saltwater generators, and it shows right up.
That's insane. I'm gonna definitely search it up.
Yeah.
I wanted to show an example to the audience. Just so happens that I always carry a coin in my pocket here. I have, like a little pocket. And this is a coin. This is basically a Morgan coin.
Okay.
And face value of this coin is $1. And this is one silver dollar. If I was to take this dollar to a grocery store right now, or to any store, by law, they have to accept this as a dollar, as a face dollar. They have to.
Okay.
But this face dollar has more value than just a dollar. But it has purchase power. It's not just, a silver strike, where a silver strike, you go to a store and, in a modern society, and you say, hey, this is a silver coin, it's worth $15 by market, give me $15 worth of food. And they'll say no, because by law, they can't accept it. It's not currency, a silver strike. But this is actually a US dollar. And by law, anybody in America has to accept it at a minimum of $1.
Okay.
So this $1 today in silver is worth about, we're not going to go into the numismatic value of this coin because that's, extra, but just as a dollar of the silver value, this has about $15 by today's market. At
Interesting.
some point, this was worth $55, just the worth of silver. This was in 2012, 13, that time. 55 bucks, something like that, an ounce. So what I want to say is that a dollar that was worth $1 in 1900s, well, this is when it was printed, the coin is from 1900. Today's market is worth 15 bucks, and you can get $2, $3 a premium over because it's a coin. But it's 15 bucks could buy you, for example, could buy you, let's say, 4 gallons of gas. If the market goes higher, this same coin could buy you even 10 gallons of gasoline that you could put in your car, and you could cash this, coin at any pawn shop or any We Buy Gold shop or any jewelry store that buys these things, or eBay or Amazon. I mean, eBay, Amazon is more of a longer process, but We Buy Gold and pawn shops will take it like right away. They'll give you a little bit less than what it's worth market value. But what I'm trying to say, by investing in these precious metals, you will still be able to have the purchase power of your dollar. If you put $15 into a coin like this and the dollar is declined, you'll have purchase power of the market that you could trade for. So silver coins, gold coins, small bars, I would highly recommend for everybody to stash away and store them in your secret compartments or wherever you want to hold on to it.
Uh-huh.
So that's just, my advice for the audience to be able to last through these tough times.
I'm a huge fan of Nikola Tesla, right?
Right.
And I believe during these times, we would need free energy more than ever,
Right.
right? So lately I've been researching water and how you can generate electricity from water, either through creating a saltwater generator, or through just a water turbine. But I honestly believe in the future, people really have to start researching, alternative forms of energy. I really feel like that's important during these times. Guys, we don't know when this is going to stop. We don't know how long this is going to last. All I can do is give you some techniques and some tools to kind of make the situation better for yourself. Because we will come out of it. Everything will be well. There is more than enough. There's always more than enough. But people got to get out the mindset of lack. What if there's not enough? What if there's always more than enough? And your belief makes it possible.
But I want to say something about this generator you're speaking about.
Yeah, let's talk.
This advice, getting this generator, is very, very, very highly important, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Coming from Russia through a communist, country, and living through a default with this whole, financial situation. When these things occur, we had a situation where, the government shut the lights off. They have the control, of energy and electricity and gas and everything, and they shut the lights off on everybody in the whole entire country to economize electricity. And not only that, they didn't have enough personnel to maintain these power stations. So if they don't have enough personnel to maintain these power stations, or possibly educated people who are on the job passed away, and there's not enough people to replace them, Just like they came out with this common date hour that you can't go outside past 10 o'clock, possibly to enforce this, they'll shut the lights off on everybody after 10 o'clock. So
Possibility. That's a
by
possibility.
having this, you know, by having this generator and having all this backup, you know, machinery that Justin Perry was just speaking about, I think this is, you know, this is big power and control, having control of your life, having control of your property, and having control of your own electricity, of your own gas, of your own way of, you know, cooking and maintaining and powering your property. You know,
Absolutely.
what if it's 10 o'clock at night and they shut the lights off and you have burglars or people coming and you have no lights, you have no control. So I think by
So,
having these machineries and things to prepare your property, prepare your family and yourself for it, you
yeah.
know, this will be a very secure way to do this.
So thing is, I came out with another invention. All right. You want to hear it?
Yeah, sure.
This invention will help families maintain water. Water is the second most important thing we need. The first thing is air. The second thing is water. Third thing is food. Okay, but we need water.
I have a
So
question for you. How long can you last in your property without depending on the outside of, you know, government electricity, food supply, you know, and just staying on your property? How long can you last, you personally? And
I,
how did you prepare yourself to last that long?
I can last maybe 6 months on my property.
6 months. Some
Yeah,
people can't even last a week.
I understand. But I have fruit trees in my yard. I have multiple fruit trees in my yard. I have vegetables also in the back. So thing is, yeah, I mean, I can survive for a long time. But this invention will also help people survive. Get this. We've all seen it before. But I believe that in the future, possibly, this could save people's lives. It is
Right,
a dehumidifier,
right,
a device that sucks the water from the air. Now, believe it or not, you can drink that water. But I recommend to filter the water that you get from the dehumidifier. Now, let's say there's no power. You can purchase the 100-watt saltwater generator and use that to power your dehumidifier, and then you can use the water from the dehumidifier to recharge the saltwater generator.
right,
So you have a continuous cycle of fresh water and energy.
right.
These are the solutions that I have.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
And this question, I have a question for you. This is a very blunt question, and I'm a very open person,
Okay.
and I'm never afraid to speak or say things that are on my mind. You know, I understand, you know, the generators work and all these, you know, things work for the property, for the people, for, you know, to get water, to get electricity, to get this, to get that. What about the, you know, what about the people that don't have a yard like you? They don't have a yard. They
You don't
don't
have
have a
a
yard.
yard. So
What
listen,
can we do? What can we do for these people? What can we
right.
recommend to them? Not only the what can we recommend, how can we help these people? You and
Right.
I, how can we help these people, for people who don't have a yard, who don't have a home with mangoes, you know, who don't have, you know, backup silver and gold and this and that, who are totally unprepared? I'm sure we have an audience. You know, You Are Creators is 1.5 million subscribers, 8 million views. You know, this our podcast, you know, we have a lot of views and a lot of subscribers, but and I'm sure out of all these people, not everyone has a yard, and not everybody, you know, has a home they can buy a generator for, and not everybody is prepared for this. I'm sure there's people that are in a situation right now, possibly that are watching us, that you know don't have a room to sleep in. They're going from place to place, and they're looking for places to stay, and you know, yeah, they have electronical devices and things and YouTubes and channels, and they're watching us, and they're listening to everything you're saying. They're listening to everything I'm saying, and I feel like not everything we're saying is referring or helping everyone who is our audience. How can we help our audience? Is there a way we can build some kind of you know, a help fund or some kind of charity fund? It doesn't have to be millions of dollars. You know, it could be uh, $50, $80 a day for somebody to get by.
No, the thing is, that's a Band-Aid. Listen, what I've learned is you can give a man a fish, and yes, he will eat for a day. He'll be grateful. But if you teach him how to fish, he eats for a lifetime. I teach knowledge, right? So this knowledge that I'm giving you, you can use it or you cannot use it. When I tell you that thoughts become things, and that by directing your thoughts and your energy, you can attract certain things in your life. That's not bullshit. Like that's like the truth. Okay? So my only advice to you is, if you really want something to happen, you can make it happen. And YouTube has tons of tutorials on how to do almost everything. I don't believe in excuses. I've never been the type of person like to make excuses. Oh, you know, I can't do this because I don't have this. I find a way. I find a way. How you doing, sir?
He finished chopping the cabbage. He makes pickled cabbage. My favorite.
Cabbage right now. But yes. So I mean, so that's my advice. Listen, like, my mindset is I'm going to eat regardless. I'm going to have more than enough regardless. I don't care about the outside world looking bad. No, no, no. All you can do is take care of yourself.
Right.
Now, that doesn't mean to be selfish. What I'm telling people is, you can't help other people if you can't help yourself. First, dig yourself out the hole. Dig yourself out of depression. You can't pour water in anyone's cup if your cup is empty. But if your cup overflows with goodness, there's more than enough to go around. There's more than enough. That's the point I'm making. Self-preservation is the law of the land. You must take care of yourself mentally. You must somehow dig yourself out that hole. I don't believe in excuses. Listen. We all have the same 24 hours a day. Nothing was given to me. Nothing was given to me. The point I'm trying to make is this. If there's a will, there's a way, you know? And
I think, you know, I understand what you're saying, and I do agree with you. I do very much agree with you. And, you know, a lot of us started from nothing, and nobody helped us. We were in situations in our times where you know, a lot of people had nothing and started with absolutely nothing, and nobody helped them with anything, and they grinded and they crawled before they walked, and this is a very tough process. And a
Right.
lot of us, a lot of entrepreneurs and very wealthy people happen to, you know, go through that process. And what makes them these, you know, what makes that person the person when they acquire the wealth is that they went through that hardship and they know how to value money. They know how to
Right.
do things from nothing.
Right.
You know, they can take away anything from you, but they can't take away your mill and your mind, how to make things happen.
Exactly. See,
So,
get this. So thing is, okay, they said that the average millionaire goes bankrupt almost 7 times.
right.
That's what they said. So, it's one of those things where basically if you can dig yourself out a hole one time, you can do it again and again and again.
Right. But where I'm going with this is that Oprah has a fundraising company. So many wealthy people, you know, have fundraising companies, and they're actually, you know, raising funds to help people that are in hard times, to kind of give them that boost so they can then be able to, a little bit financially and morally, get up and continue this marathon to get to where they need to go. So, in other words, what I want to say is that, you know, we have such a large audience. I think, you know, we should, you know, create a charity fund and help anyone in our audience that we can help from this charity fund. But how do we acquire this charity fund, and how do we, you know, start this up, and, you know, how can we get this, you know, these funds then to help these people? And I think one of the ways is doing it is, you know, that there's several ways of doing this. I don't know. You might agree with me. You might not agree with me. Maybe we should talk about it, and then figure out a way that we can do this and speak about it on our next podcast. But I think that's something that is very possible for us to do in the nearest future.
I believe that sometimes forming a charity comes from a good place, but I believe it's a Band-Aid. I told you, if you give people fishes, they'll eat. But if you teach them how to fish, they will eat forever, and they'll teach their children. We don't need Band-Aids. We need leaders that can teach life lessons.
Right.
Because knowledge is power. Knowledge is the most powerful thing in the world. Because people perish for the lack of knowledge, right? We've all heard that time and time before. But it's true. So thing is, my way of giving back is giving knowledge, because knowledge is worth more than money, more than gold, because knowledge can save your life potentially one day. That's what I believe. Knowledge is gold. Knowledge is power.
So just off the topic, would you recommend in these times to you know, invest money into any particular, you know, I don't know, stock or bonds or food, or I don't know. Would you recommend any type of investments, or just
Right now, the last thing on my mind is investments. Now, thing is, I know that people say that, you know, now is the perfect time to invest money and buy stocks and buy this. Yes, that is true. That is true. But my advice right now to people is to first get your head straight. You know, stop watching the news, like I said before. Get out of panic. You get out of panic by guarding your attention If you keep talking about this virus every 5 minutes, like that's all that's going on, you know, in your subconscious mind. Like, I'm not talking about this thing no more. I ain't thinking about it. I don't watch the news because it slowly poisons you. It brings in so much fear and it locks you down.
You know, today I was today I was in the store and I saw people wearing masks and stuff, and
Yeah, like
people are wearing gloves and stuff. And to be honest with you, I'm a very, very mentally strong person. As far as if you have doubt about your immune system, if you have doubt in sickness, if you give any chance that, hey, listen, it's possible that that you can get sick, it will come to you. I haven't had flu or anything absolutely within the last 10 years. I haven't even taken a Tylenol in 10 years. In 10 years, I have not taken any type of medication or any type of Theraflus, nothing absolutely. And I think, again, this type of mindset, the mindset that, even if you feel some kind of chills or something, or you sneeze or anything, and, you sit there and you get control of your emotion and yourself, and you speak to yourself with the strength, of your powerful mind, I don't think anything could touch you. I think a lot of people who are weak, and people who are in fear, and people who are scared, and the ones that have this, news and everything engraved in their mind, and they listen to it, TV, radio, everywhere. People, did you hear about this? Did you hear about that? And constantly, over and over, it brings that scarcity, and you can't control your emotions to push this sickness away. But if you have a mindset that this cannot touch you, this cannot come near you, and I think believing in faith and everything, of not getting sick with this sickness or any type of sickness, kind of like steers you around away from getting sick.
Okay, so first things first, we should even stop saying the word sickness or anything related to it, because one, your words are powerful and your subconscious mind is listening. Two, when you say the words, it's like this. Your subconscious mind is always listening to what you are hearing and saying. Okay? And if you keep saying the words sickness, believe it or not, just by giving it attention seems to usher it even more in your life. You must only talk about what you want. Energy flows where attention goes. If you give your attention to the news and what's going on, you attract like energy. Okay? Now, thing is, I'm not saying, put your head like in a hole in the ground or anything. No. What I'm saying is, educate yourself on the best ways to boost your immune system. From that aspect, you have nothing to worry about. You have nothing to worry about. Focus on good health instead of sickness. That's the point I'm making.
Even I, and just from everybody that I know, even my own mom, she calls to say hello, and she starts talking about this. And I tell her, listen, right away, don't talk to me about this. I don't want to hear about this. I'm in the middle of buying a falafel place. I tell her, listen, I don't want to hear about these things. I'm here to try to conduct business, try to make things happen. These guys are making $8,000 a day here in this busy location. And you're talking about, nonsense. that I need to get gloves, I need to get a mask. You're bringing scarcity in me,
Right.
rather than at a moment where I'm trying to conduct business.
I got you,
And
man.
I felt like this is so like it kind of throws people off. If you don't stop it yourself, nobody's gonna stop it for you. That's just the way I feel.
Right. But yeah, I mean, so here's the final advice on the subject. Just stop giving your attention to certain things, certain platforms, certain news stations. Stop giving your attention to these things because it will only lower your vibration. Let's focus on abundance. Having more than enough food and water and, more than enough of all the positive things in the world. I mean, you really have to take guard of your imagination and focus on only what you want. I mean, that's the truth. The God honest truth.
Do you feel like if everyone focused on envisioning a fast ending of this situation and these circumstances in the
I
world,
believe so.
do you think if everyone gave that focus, this would end faster?
100%. 100%. See, the thing is, people forget that we create our reality, but we also create reality collectively by mass consciousness. So, okay, prime example. One horse can pull, I think they said 800 pounds. But
Right.
two horses can pull 3,000 pounds. Same goes with creators. One creator is powerful, but we have multiple creators thinking and vibrating at the same rate, negative or positive. Something's going to manifest out of that energy. It has to, because we are powerful creators. So if everybody started switching their attention consciously to what they want instead of what they don't want, I believe we will see a momentum shift throughout the world. And I honestly believe that.
So I want to make a public announcement to our audience and everyone who's listening to us. The virus is spreading.
Bro,
Wait, just pay attention. Just wait to what I'm going to say. Just like the virus spreads around, we are spreading the virus around through everyone by transferring these news, by being the transmitters of these news. If everyone continues to transmit these news and deliver these bad news and calling each other with these bad news and having all these thoughts and thousands of thoughts of bad news, this virus is going to continue growing. But if everyone will stop delivering these bad news and start praying and envisioning, of the good things occurring and the ending of the situation in a good way, and if everybody works on building their vibration and starts to think positive, even at a negative time, to think positive and stop delivering and spreading the negativity in mass production, I think the situation will end faster by the good positive energy to overcloud everyone, to bring certainty and to bring secureness and to bring the feeling of safety and comfort, rather than the opposite. Because you could walk on the street today and feel like, not because just the streets are empty, but you could feel the fear in the streets. You could feel the emptiness in the streets. You walk around through a store, through a place, and you could feel like everything is in panic. I think if everyone becomes aware and wires themselves in a positive momentum to think positive and give out that positive vibration to cloud over other people and each other, this will spread the cloudness of good energy that will start healing people. And you can't see these things. You could feel and sense these things. And what I'm advising to all the audience, like Justin Perry said, stop the news, stop talking about this, stop telling your friends about it, stop listening from your friends what they're saying, and just think positive. And you know,
so basically, like we said before, it just boils down to attention. What are you giving your attention? But the thing is, bro, like, I don't even want to say the word virus anymore on my podcast, bro. Like, seriously, words are so powerful. I don't even want to say that anymore. Like, dude, those words aren't even allowed in my house because I understand the dynamic power of the spoken word. So
the vibration,
bro, it's real, man. Like, words can build up, words can tear down. You can cast spells with words. You can shape your reality with words. This is why I put so much emphasis on affirmations, because words are thoughts expressed. Anything expressed is moved out more quickly. You know what I'm saying? So watch your words.
So how do you have an advice? Let's say for me, I want for the audience, how do you cleanse a home where these words were spoken? People listen to the news. They listen to these words. Wait, give me a moment. People listen to the news. They hear these words 1,000 times per day, from the news, from the radio, from talking over the phone, and they're in their homes saying these words, and these words have vibration, just like any word, and the room, the ceiling, the walls are damped already with this negativity of those negative words. How do you clean this energy from your home? Is there a way to do this?
Absolutely, there's a way. You replace old energy with new energy.
How?
You replace old energy with new energy. You say something else. So sometimes you can walk into a room and change the atmosphere of that room based on your vibration. Let's say that there's tension in a room with multiple people, but you feel good. You feel real good. Sometimes you can walk into that room and alter the vibration in that place. This is why I recommend that you be the generator. You generate the positive emotions. See, thing is, you can't change the world, but you can change yourself. And when you change yourself, your energy affects the other energy around you, even other people's energy around you. If your energy is high enough, you must become a positive generator. Sage is also a wonderful way of cleansing energy. Time and time again, certain, mystics or medicine men say that, certain spirits or negative energies do not like sage because it's too pure.
Really?
You can sage your body. You can sage your home. You can change your words. You can change your attention. All of this shifts the energy in your home. It really does work. Shift the energy. Shake the room.
Shake the room.
Shake the room.
Shake the room.
That's it, bro. All day. All day. Well, listen. This now concludes another episode of the Mind Investors Podcast.
We really didn't speak too much on investment today, but we'll leave it for another time.
Next time. We do that next time. You know, we do it next time. But guys, thank you so much for joining us. We love you all. Take care of your mind. Take care of your body, and everything's gonna be okay.
Wish everybody luck. I hope everybody stays safe and everyone, works on themselves, the awareness, the vibration, does their preservations of their reserves and follows whatever good advices Justin Perry gave and we'll see you guys soon. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you.